If you're here for the first time today, please like and subscribe. I'm very thankful for you to be here today. It is my very first video which is meant to be educational. But disclaimer though, this are all based on my opinion and my own experiences. It doesn't represent like the entire population of men or Japanese men out there. With that said, do bear in mind that I had 2 Japanese boyfriends and the second one became my husband, so go figure. And you know, me and my husband, we are very grateful for you to support us and watch this video, so please be kind and nice to us. I have never planned to marry a Japanese man, just so you know.
Hey, have you forgotten something really important here? When you were in the arts college, you used to love everything Japanese, okay? You love Japanese celebrities, you love Japanese music, and then you even imagine how it felt like to have a Japanese boyfriend, you know, those kind of fantasies. You even learned the language, right? Have you even forgotten about that? Or are you in denial?
First of all, I am not in denial, okay? It just happened. Think about it this way. When you plan to do something, it doesn't mean it'll happen. And if you want something, it doesn't mean it'll happen too. And for me, it was completely unplanned, okay? It just happened, so just take my word for it. Okay, so there are 4 important points that you have to think about, okay? The why, the what, the where, and the how in this situation. First off, let's start with why. Why do you want to marry a Japanese man? Why do you want to have a Japanese boyfriend? If you're thinking about like anime, J-dramas, celebrity, girl, you need to rethink your priorities. I mean, yeah, they can be cute. But just like many other men in all over the world, you know, they're all different shapes and sizes. But what is your reason for even looking for a Japanese man? Think about it. It's really, really important to actually consider why. Okay, then let's go to the what section. What you need to know. Okay, there is a whole chunk that you need to know. So please bear with me. First off, what are your expectations for a Japanese man? And do you even know the culture well enough? Because if your expectations doesn't match the actual culture, then you're gonna be really, really struggling in the country and with your man. So think about that. And then next up, language. This is a no-brainer, right? I mean, if you want a Japanese man, of course you at least need to learn the language. At the beginning, you don't need to be perfect in it, but at least you need to know some of it. Just enough. I am not good in my Japanese language, but I can kind of get by. So language is very important. Next up, you need to look cute. And wait, I don't mean this in a very shallow way. Think about it. There are so many cute Japanese girls out there in Japan or even all over the world. What makes you so special besides your skin color and your race? You know, if anything, Japanese men are very typically intimidated by foreign women, especially foreign women who doesn't really speak their language. It's quite intimidating because they're really, really different. It takes time for them to adapt. But of course, if you know your Japanese guy in a foreign land, then they might behave differently. However, if you are talking about a true blue Japanese man who lives and works in Japan, who doesn't travel around, then you are in for a very big surprise. So, you know, you just need to look decent and cute. But if you have a very positive, cute character, then hey, good for you. You still need to look good. And next, patience. Yes, you really need a lot of patience with your Japanese men because they work very, very long hours, so they don't really have time for you, and sometimes you're just so tired, you know, and depends on their job. Sometimes they even have to work 6 or 7 days a week. In any case, not only that, they don't really know how to express their feelings very well because they're not used to it. They're not trained to do that. There can be a lot of misunderstandings, so you need to really communicate and understand and observe him, because sometimes they don't really tell you how they feel. You have to figure it out. If not, just outright ask them. So patience, you need a lot of patience. And next we come to sacrifice. Yes, you need to know that there will be sacrifices, like your career, your family, your independence. And I mean it in the sense that if you are planning to move to Japan, because not all Japanese men are able to come to your country when you get married. So like me, if you have to move over to Japan, you definitely have to give up your career, right? Unless if you are able to find a job in Japan, then hey, kudos to you. And then family, yeah, you won't have family in Japan, unfortunately. Thank goodness technology, you can still talk to your family, but it's not the same. And independence. I mean, I really miss my level of independence. And back in Singapore, I enjoy the fact that I can do everything on my own. I don't need to rely on anyone, especially like basic needs like, going to see the doctor and going to the dentist, things that need official stuff, important things, governmental stuff, because there's so many paperwork here. You need to know that you will rely very heavily on your hubby. So if you're the kind of girl who is so used to being independent and now you have to rely on someone, now that's the time. You have to rely on someone until, of course, you are slightly more comfortable with the language, but it will take time because the paperwork here is don't even want to go there. Next up, language. Yes, I'm gonna say language again. No matter how good your hubby's English is or whatever language that both of you do share, there will always be a language barrier and a culture barrier. Both of us are Asians, there are still culture barriers. So what more if you're not Asian? Can you imagine the culture shock that you're gonna have? It's unavoidable. You have to understand that. So there will be lots and lots of misunderstanding, which means you need to learn how to communicate. And you need to learn how to communicate effectively. So don't say I didn't warn you. That's where patience comes in. Full circle, isn't it? Alright. And then we go to where? So where do you find the elusive Japanese men? In this day and age, the internet, right? Wherever you can find them. And also, if you have Japanese events in your country, then if you enjoy the culture, please go and attend them, because who knows, you might get to know someone new over there, not just guys, but girls as well. You need to be in an environment where they're Japanese, obviously. So it's not just event. Working in a place where there are Japanese people, that's a bit extreme. But for example, you're already very good in the language, you're already in the environment. I mean, hey, kind of a done deal, right? Actually, not necessarily. Or even, students, no. Don't do that. And last but not least, we come to the final section of how. How to find a Japanese man that will marry you. Well, in the first place, you need to find the right fit. Like, seriously, hear me out. Think about it. If you don't find the right fit, how is he going to want to marry you? First pointer, you need to be yourself. Because if you are not able to be yourself, then it's going to be very difficult, right? So you need to find the right person that will appreciate you for you so that you can be yourself. If not, life is going to be quite sad for you. So I think you know what I mean somehow. Next up, this is actually quite important for me. It's like almost the number one list for me. They need to have the same morals and beliefs as you, because if they don't, you're just gonna have lots and lots of conflicts. And in terms of like beliefs, well, it can be religion or something else, but in terms of religion, it's okay if you're of different religion. However, both of you from the very beginning, you need to be able to accept each other's differences. So if you are going into the relationship and if you have very different belief system, it can work out, but it needs lots and lots of work. So please bear that in mind when you're looking for someone, even if they're not Japanese. Please pay attention to that. And then next up, very important, you need to find someone that will do the most for you. And I mean absolute most. The reason being, if you're gonna move to Japan, you have no job in Japan, okay? And you're gonna marry in Japan, there are tons and tons of paperwork. Most of the time, you won't be able to do it on your own, especially if you don't have a certain level of Japanese language skills. It is really complicated. So your husband needs to sacrifice a lot of time to do all the paperwork for you, and he has to take time off. Bear in mind, it is really not easy to take time off in Japan. If you really study the work culture, you understand what I'm saying. But today, we're not going into that. If you're interested, maybe write in the comments below and I might film a video or shoot a video on it. So let's get to the next point. I think this is a no-brainer. You need to find a man who wants to get married. I mean, what's the point if you are not looking to get married? If you just want to date a Japanese man, then why are you in this video? Maybe you're inspired to get married, right? But okay, let's just say you really want to get married. Then of course, you need to find someone who wants to get married. If you find a Japanese man, or any man for that matter, who doesn't want to get married, then why are you still with him? Last but not least, this is me personally, okay? Pray. I can confidently say that I did pray for my hubby. It's kind of strange how I actually got to know my hubby, and whatever religion you are, I respect that. Trust me, I do respect that. Even if you don't have any religion, okay, you're atheist, right? But if you do have a religion, then praying helps. You know, be very specific and ask for what you want. If it's meant for you, you will receive it. So what do you think? Is everything being mentioned today make sense? Like, this is just based on my own experiences and my own thoughts and opinions. So I do hope that some of these thoughts that I have actually do help some of you out there. If you do have any questions, be nice, okay? Put it down in the comments below, or if anything you would like, you know, any new video ideas you would like me to make. So please leave it down in the comments below as well. And please like and subscribe. And I hope to see you on the next video. Bye!